Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Okay, now here I will do my reflections about the material Prinsip, Pengajaran, dan Asesmen 2. So here are the steps of reflection on learning. The first, review learning experience, reflection on learning experiences, analysis of learning artifacts, and last, the formulation of reflections result in the form of meaningful learning. So here let's talk about the three topics from Prinsip Pengajaran Asesmen: pemahaman karakteristik peserta didik melalui asesmen awal, pendekatan teaching aturan level pada perencanaan pengajaran dan asesmen, and the last topic, pendekatan culturally responsive teaching pada perencanaan pengajaran dan asesmen. So here I will choose the first topic, which is pemahaman karakteristik peserta didik melalui asesmen awal. So here there are 4 questions. The learning review experience. The first, what learning experiences are useful and interesting. So the second, what learning experiences are useful but less interesting. What learning experiences are interesting but not very useful. And the last question, what learning experiences are uninteresting and useless in context of being a prospective teacher. So here I will answer the 2 questions, the first and the second. So the first question, what learning experiences are useful and interesting? For me, the useful and interesting learning experiences is gaining the ability to understand student characteristics through initial assessment or diagnostic assessment. This is the knowledge that's crucial for the teacher that helps them recognize each student's existing knowledge, skills, and level of readiness before planning instructions. So by implementing the diagnostic assessment and interpreting the result, teacher can make a design lesson that accommodates the very first learning needs within the classroom. So this approach promotes a more student-centered and inclusive learning environment. Furthermore, it enables teachers to choose the most suitable teaching strategies, such as teaching at their level and culturally responsive teaching, or we can call it SRT, to ensure every student is actively involved in the learning process and can achieve targeted learning objectives. So the second question, what learning experiences are useful but less interesting? So here, a useful but less interesting experience in this topic is analyzing assessment data. While it plays a crucial role in identifying students' learning needs and informing instructional planning, the process can be repetitive and less engaging. But however, it remains essential for designing inclusive and effective learning experience. So here let's analyze the learning artifacts. The first from mulai dari diri. In this first activity, the students are asked as the students invited to identify the prior knowledge and experiences in designing instruction and assessment, which in this activity aims to explore students' initial understanding of the importance of developing learning plans and that are student-centered. So here, in mulai dari diri, we answer the questions about the experiences from the learning process. So the explorasi concept. So in this activity, I explore there are 3 concepts, which is understanding by design, student characteristic, and culturally responsive teaching. So here I watch explanatory videos and answering grading questions to deepen my understanding and connect theory to classroom practice. So here there are 2 or 3 videos that I have to watch and answer the questions about the video. Here, the analysis of artifact about ruang kolaborasi, which is in this ruang kolaborasi, there are 3 activities. First, we are discuss and share ideas about creating background, learning styles, and also interests. So here is the artifact from ruang kolaborasi tugas sertifikat 1 perangkat asesmen awal. So the members of the group, Nada Syifa Fariza, Sri Study, and me, Syifa Aulia. So here are the questions of assessment and ability. So here we ask about what the learning styles and what is the religion, the ethnics, and also what there are interests in the material and the extracurricular, and etc. So in this activity, we create a non-cognitive assessment tool based on the selective techniques and also the instrument discussed during the collaborative space sessions. So the questions were compiled into a Google form to facilitate easier distribution and accessibility for the students. This digital format also helps streamline the data collect process, allowing us to gather important information related to students that will be used to analyze the student characteristics and support the development of differential learning plans during the upcoming PPG. Okay, so the next artifact is koneksi antar materi, which here in this activity I made an infographic showing the connection between student characteristics, lesson planning, and also the subject content that explains how understanding students' learning styles, interests, and needs help in making better lessons. It also shows that the way they should match both the students' characteristics or background and also the subject. So here are the artifact. So here is the artifact of koneksi antar materi. It's explained about the characteristics and also karakteristik peserta didik sebagai dasar penyusunan rancangan pembelajaran dan rancangan pembelajaran yang harus dipertimbangkan pada karakteristik materi. Okay, so the last is the artifact of aksi nyata. There are two sections aksi nyata. The first is we have to answer those questions about our experience from PPL 1 and PPL 2. So aksi nyata, the second aksi nyata is about the reflection rancangan pembelajaran dan assessment, which is we upload our module to the LMS. So in this aksi nyata, we reflect our understanding of learning lesson design with student characteristics by answering these 3 questions from LMS that students revisit their previous lesson plans. So students here is refers to me as a student developing during the PPL 1 and PPL 2. So this reflection process aims to refine the lesson plan to better accommodate students' diverse needs, backgrounds, and learning style, ensuring inclusive and effective learning experience. Okay, so that is the last artifacts. So let's move to the formulation of reflection result in the form of meaningful learning. So after learning this topic, I realized the importance of planning lesson planning with students' characteristics through 3 key points or 3 approaches. The first, understanding by design, which this approach can help teacher design backward from clear learning goals to ensure coherence between objectives, assessment, and the activities in the classroom. So teaching at the right level, which focuses on identifying students' actual learning level through early assessment or diagnostic assessment and adapting instruction accordingly. So the last, partially responsive teaching, this approach emphasizes in integration of students' culture, backgrounds, and lived experiences into the learning process to make it more meaningful. So this approach is going to develop inclusive and student-centered lessons that respond prinsip pengajaran asesmen. So thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.